make a video here that just came to me. I'm sitting here doing my laundry, and one of my favorite shows is Bonanza, so I'm watching that while it's doing its thing. And you usually have the opening scene, and then you have the intro song. I don't know what it's called, forget. When they play the theme song and that kind of thing. But anyway, in the opening scene, what instigated the idea for this video was the camera panned to something that I take is going to be significant later on in the episode. So it panned down to a gun that had a silver C engraved on the stock, and so then I immediately had an idea, which I take to be divinely inspired, sent to me from the infinite intelligence, the ether, where we extract our what we call hunches, things that we become aware of through the sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. But I immediately had the idea that in a lot of ways, wherever you are in life, whatever system you exist in, whether it be your job, your religion, just every aspect of your reality is like that of the television show, where it's highly curated, and the people that are at the head of the game that you are partaking in, they are very they curate the reality that you are integrating with. They present you with the things that they want you to become aware of, that they want you to perceive, when they want you to perceive them, how they want you to perceive them, in what graduation they want you to perceive them, because they have an overarching agenda, and they have the whole they have the whole idea, the whole narrative in their mind about the ways that they want you to perceive what they're doing, but they have to lay it out in pieces, so they curate it to a high degree, and they're very cunning and they're very clever. And just like that camera panned down to that thing, in the director or whoever wrote the script and all of that, they have the overarching they have the whole narrative in their mind, and they're going to unfold it to you in the form of a story that progresses along at a certain pace. And so this reality that we exist in, like I said, be it whatever aspect of this reality of the society we exist in, is like that TV show or like that movie, where you are not privy to the whole overarching thing that you are integrated with, that you are a part of, that you partake in on a daily basis. You are only able to perceive the little snippets that are thrown to you, the little crumbs, the little breadcrumb trail that's left for you to pick up. And the people that are at the head of it are many, many steps ahead, and they have the whole thing in mind, and the whole way that they want to give you these little pieces, piece by piece, so that your perception can be manipulated in a way that is favorable to them and that fulfills their agenda. Now, they can't guarantee it, but they might have a certain level of proficiency and a certain skill manipulating human perception and psychology, where they're all but certain that the way that they lay it out, in the order, in the duration, in the amount that they lay out, and the intervals they lay it out in, that you are going to reconcile it in the way that they desire for you to. So they have enough experience manipulating these aspects of human psychology to be able to do this, and that's why they're in the position that they're in. So it was just very interesting how that idea came to me, spur of the moment, just sitting here watching one of my favorite shows. And as I said, it was divinely given to me. I don't take credit for these things, but my mind works in this analytical way and dives deep into things. But I thought that'd be interesting to bring up, because many of us throughout our days, we're on autopilot. We're like robots. We're like the worker ants, the worker bees, that their sole goal is to protect the queen at all costs, and they don't really, they don't really contemplate their own consciousness or existence. And so many of us find ourselves beaten down by the narratives and the paradigms and the status quo and all of this thing that influences our perception and diminishes our consciousness and strips us of the vitality and the original spark of brilliance, of divinity that we were born with. And as we go along in this life, like a horse is broken, you know, the ultimate goal is to break our spirit, to get us to fall in line so we can be subjugated and controlled and manipulated to whatever ends are desired by the string pullers. And so you can find metaphors for these sorts of things all throughout if you just open up your eyes and have the eyes to see and the spirit to discern and all of these sorts of things. And just as that camera was panning down to that significant piece of information, when the architect of that that show, that aspect of consciousness, if you want to call it that, when they desired for it to, how long they desired for it to take to fall on that, so that you think, oh, this is taking a while to pan down, this is going to be of some significance, or how long they hold it on the gun, the music that they play while it's being held on the gun. And then all of this is done with extreme care and cunning and highly curated. So like I said, I'm trying to drive this point home, that open up your mind to these sorts of things, begin to awaken, awaken from the slumber that we're all in, that many of us are in, and to each at varying degrees and different times in our lives. When the divine mind wishes for us to awaken, then that is when we will awaken, or if we will awaken. But I try to make these videos because, there's always people that, to explore my gifts and my consciousness, but also to be of some service and to put them to use, to cultivate them. And there's always somebody that needs to hear these messages, that just as I needed to hear and still need to hear messages, that times when I was at extremely low points in my life, and I discovered certain channels that I know was a coincidence. I was meant to find them and to extract the blessing that God had given these people to put forth the messages that they put forth. And it really helped me. And so, it's kind of paying it forward, but just hoping that somebody that needs to hear these messages can hear them and can awaken and can fulfill their divine purpose and manifest their ultimate self and devote themselves to the true flowering of the gifts that they've been given. So keep that in mind. The reality that we exist in is highly curated. We're only privy to that which is desired for us to be privy to. And when, how, who, what, where, when, why, how, all of these things, it's, doled out little by little, but there's always an overarching agenda and a narrative in mind by those who are at the head of the table and those who pull the strings and all this sort of thing. So that's what I want to say in this video. I'm going to cut it here and finish up this laundry, and check out my other videos on this channel. I think they'll be of great use to whoever comes across them. And like this video, leave your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything that you might be struggling with or need my perspective or want my perspective or advice on. If I could lend some helpful words, I'd be happy to do that. Subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. Check out my other channel, Ray Rivera, where I do art and music. Subscribe there as well. Share these videos, take the wisdom that you could take from them. So keep your mind open and take wisdom wherever you could get it from, because it is a true blessing. The ultimate wealth is wisdom and knowledge, and don't spend so much time chasing the carnal desires and the desires of the lower self, and the money, the this, the that, the things that they wish for you to devote your sacred and divine energy on, to squander it on all of these things, so that you never realize your true and ultimate purpose and soul. And so keep that in mind as well. More to come, and thanks for watching.